excited.
All right, folks, this is your flipper dolphin here. This is those smart guys, bottlenose dolphin. See him around the boat here, showing curiosity. See, they're much larger than the common dolphin we saw earlier. Like this, you might see a bunch of females that are related in here. Mothers, sisters, aunties, grandmas. All the female kids will stay with their pod for their entire life. They're given a name when they're first born. Same melon that creates echolocation in their forehead gives these guys the ability to make sounds, so they give each other a set of sounds. Youngster. And it's amazing that the bottlenose dolphin, they give their female calves a name that's pretty close to theirs, and the male calf, they give a very strange name to, something a little different than the rest of the pods. And so the male doesn't become familiar with its own pod sometime during its travels later in life. These guys are as smart as it comes. Inside that melon, between the blowhole and the edge of their bottle nose, is that echolocation muscle I told you about. This is a bizarre thing. They have a couple of air sacs in there. They can move the air between those two air sacs in a certain way, flex that muscle, and shoot sound out into the water. We start with about 30 per second. It's still a lot to you and me, but when they get really cranky, they're trying to identify strongly with an object in front of them. Beautiful creature is doing. It goes up to 800 per second. A huge increase. And it makes a really intricate picture of what they're looking at with sound. It doesn't just bounce off like our sight is two-dimensional. Their echolocation goes through objects. They can tell if there's a ball inside a box, the consistency of that ball. These animals also are able to recognize themselves in the mirror, just like pygmy chimpanzees and humans can. That's just 3 of us on the planet smart enough to do that. Offshore bottlenose dolphin are found too frequently, especially in the mix with coastal bottlenose dolphin. We have some dolphin you see outside the surfers as you're on the shoreline. Those are also bottlenose dolphin, but that's a whole different race or family of these guys. The ones on the shoreline are a little bit thinner, have longer pectoral fins, the side fins, because they have to be maneuverable to find food inside those rocky shorelines. These guys, oh, look at that one logging right there to our left. Getting some milk or something. These offshore bottlenose here will feed on the same type of creatures, mackerel, but they're a little bit bigger, be about their maximum. They're looking for squid, any sorts of schools of small fish. Stories about people being saved by dolphins. You hear 20 different stories. You give up on 50 and look ridiculous. 5 left, worth looking at. When it comes down to 1 or 2, you can only explain the dolphin's altruistic nature. It's these guys right here. The offshore bottlenose dolphins are sure responsible for all we know. The incredible stories of people being saved by dolphins. These views here. Oh, and these guys have less teeth in their mouth. They have about 20 to 22 teeth in each side of each mouth. So look at the scrape marks on them. A little bit different than the common dolphin, which are really finely spaced. Again, that's from them just biting each other, kind of like wolves do, grabbing the scruff of each other's necks. But it's not really a brutal thing, but they do want to figure out who's smartest and fastest in the pod. So they don't want the village idiot running the game, They want their quarterback to be strong and smart.